Morning. What is going on? Good morning, Eric. You were first today. Good morning, David, Afghani, Alexis, Sinful, Brady, David, Mighty, Kid83. Good morning. What's up, Sandollar? What's up, King Carnage? What's up, Mel? You were asking about the trading view thing. Let me go get it. Here you go, Sandollar. Let me get it on. I'll send it on Discord too. There you go. Previous day close, high, low. Okay, yeah. I was just triple checking I answered your question correctly. We have some awesome info by JBake today that I wanted to share. He just posted it. So for the triple Qs, he's going to be he said sitting in the golden pocket of previous day's afternoon leg down, watching for a potential sell off at open or a push to test previous day high at 328.90. If we sell off, pre-market low down to the previous day low would be a good initial targets. If we test previous day high, watch for breaks up to 329.50s, 330, 330.50 area. I think you meant to put a dot there, not a slash. A rejection of previous day high, and we can look for pushes down to pre-market low to previous day low. With Jerome speaking on Friday, I believe we could see choppiness until then. SPY has just been ranging and could continue to do so until Friday, and he's not wrong. You're probably going to hear similar remarks by me on the SPY chart here in a second, but I also wanted to show you guys the charts. I went ahead and posted all of them. We of course have tech, we got healthcare, we got banks, we got comms, and we got discretionary. We got the big ones today again. Good morning. If you're just now tuning in, you really haven't missed much. We're just going through a couple things. SPY's actually picking up really nice. They've gotten past a lot of really good levels from yesterday. This level here is the previous day open. This level here is from the bigger time frame. They've held a really good area of demand. If you jump out the last few days, we've actually been jumping from here the past few days, so this isn't really surprising to see wicks here. If we do get a sell-off, this will be an area that price will definitely slow down, at least partially. Even if it is going to continue lower, you'll at least see some slowdown here, so we have that to pay attention to in case of any aggressive sell-off. Of course, if we have a continuation higher, it's going to be above 412. We were pushing above this initial pre-market high a little while ago, and we've actually held on top of it and kind of staircased off it now. So it looks like prices do want to try and continue a little bit higher. One thing that does throw me off a little bit, I'd say, is the previous day highs, because yes, 412.86 is your next level, 413 area. You can just mark those both if you want and highlight it. But you do have the meat of the previous day high a lot closer than that. It's almost 25 cents closer. So keep the meat of the previous day high and the wick of the previous day high in check. So actually today I'm actually going to add this. I don't normally do this after I've already sent levels out, but I'm going to add that level. So we're going from that level down to the meat of that high. So I'm going in and marking that. So we're just going to kind of keep that as like, all right, we could push up and hit this as a projection kind of deal. If we end up getting some consolidation under this or over this, it'd be a lot better of a sign that they're trying to retake it or at least push off of it. So we'll see if we can do that today, which, again, as I'm saying, if they're pushing closer to it. So it looks like we're going to be getting that right before the open. I created a list, of course. You guys have already seen that. I sent that out, sent the charts, everything. So we'll be on that. But give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready for it today. I'm really just curious to finally see if this chart will move. Oh, I need to change this back. 50. There we go. But I can't wait to see when do we find the exit to smaller range between these two little areas here. You can see we're opening higher again, so we shall see. I'm also going to be alternating again, like I do normally, between the tech sector and the, of course, my sector charts here. Yesterday was a lot of fun. Again, if you guys want a big lesson type day, I'd go rewatch all of yesterday's stream. It went from really good updates to just really good breakdowns on those updates, because the sectors really did kind of give us complete key to, hey, this is where we're going today, blah, blah, blah. This is when we're doing it. This is when we're pushing higher. This is when we're slowing down. you know, the sectors made it very easy to see when that was all happening. Netflix wicked down very hard just now. Keep an eye on that. Meta, Google, Tesla a little ugly at the open. We'll see if that holds or if they're going to try and push that back lower. Looks like Investor Day didn't really bring them much hype. They did get a good green move in the extended hours, but they didn't really make much off of it from here. They've again just rejected previous day high, and now they're moving back lower, kind of right to where right before the event started. Right before the event started, it was about right here, so keep that in mind. So the event really didn't send them anywhere. It put them in a potential spot where they could take advantage of it, but they didn't really take advantage. Amazon pushing higher while you have Tesla weakening. So you have the XLY sector completely fighting against itself. Nvidia slowing down from the open. Microsoft just indecisive. AMD a little indecisive. Apple indecisive at the open. They also had a pretty nasty dip in the pre-market. They've pretty much recovered all of that now. Looks like previous day close is a really big resistance here. You got previous day open, previous day close. If you combine those, it gives you a really good kind of combination area of like, hey, you need to get past this, or hey, you could reject from here. Gives you a really good pivot point that either side can take advantage of. Let's SPY. How's everyone doing in the chat? Yeah, I did, Jack. It's only 9% down now. So it really wasn't that much. And it dropped right at open, so that kind of helped out the position fill too. It's almost impossible to not get filled at the open. If you don't get filled at the open, it's because you're going for a fill that doesn't exist anymore. Which is very common. I mean, that happens all the time. Yeah, that position's down less than 7% now. Good morning, VC. Touché. Nice struggle at the open for SPY. Third time I've seen that today. While making the watch list, we saw it happen once, twice, and then a third. Again, another flash order coming through. Wait, for real, Sinful? Oh, you weren't kidding. Good stuff. I did like that trade he posted yesterday. I did like this chart a lot. And then I think I saw Knox to also post on it. And then I think... Was it D-Touch? No, there was a couple other people. But I saw at least like 2 or 3 people post this, though. So I thought that was a really good high probability post. I like that it came down to the 9. I like that it came down into old demand that was trying to be as demand. They rejected supply, so it made sense that they came down from there. But it would make sense to go retest this candle again as long as they hold this, and it seems like they did. Got a good higher open, got a good pump at the open, so yeah, good job on that. I like that swing idea a lot, though. Low weak volume after it hits supply came. I mean, that's like literally the ideal 80% entry. You know, it's not every time you get it in such a clean form. Let's see, does SPY hold this at the open, or are we gonna flush right at the open? Apple sitting above a really good demand area. As long as they hold 171, 171.40 area, they could definitely get really good bounces back to the upside. AMD struggling under 101.20s. I still need to rechart Microsoft, but for today, let's at least get this going. Pretty passive supply. We'll do some demand. There we go. And of course, you have a huge level down here. Yesterday opens huge. Tesla still getting some buyers. We'll see if they can retake 168.25. Seeing a lot of buyer reactions on charts. That's good. Some pretty nasty moves to the downside on some of these charts. Some of them didn't really move at all. Some of them, like Netflix, as you can see, have super indecisive candles at the first 5 minutes of the day. That's already setting the tone. It looks like banks are doing all right. All right, so sector-wise, tech against resistance. They need to surpass previous day high for tech to move higher. That's your Apple, Microsoft sector. Healthcare, still weak. Again, we saw them yesterday and the day before, very weak in comparison to others at the open. Very weak, and they're very heavy, so that's going to affect SPY a little bit to the upside. We'll see if the others can outweigh them, and it looks like financials are still moving higher. They're also like tech. They're kind of fighting the top of their supply from previous day. So are banks. Looks like Com got back above previous day close after short-term losing it in the first 5 minutes. Again, first 10 minutes, you really want to get that info. First 30 minutes, not as crucial, but still very crucial. Crucial is in terms of do not trade the first 5-10 minutes. The first 5-10 minutes can be hectic. Don't do it to yourself. Good afternoon, Cameron. I forgot it is actually afternoon where he is, so he's not crazy. How's the music, by the way? Is it too loud, too quiet? Let me know. AMD did dip further after breaking 101.20s. We'll see if they continue, or if they're going to try and retake 101.44. Tesla kicking ass. They're already back above 168.25, back above today's open. They're back in supply, so they haven't really done anything, but they have retaken some stuff after losing a lot of ground there, so it's a very good sign by Tesla bulls. Google struggling. Netflix still struggling, but holding, so we'll see what happens there. It looks like banks are also slowing down a little. Tech still fighting to get over the supply. Healthcare moving even lower. Financials at top of supply still. Comms are fighting under today's open. Discretionary, again, guys. Tesla, Amazon sector moving higher. They're the only chart moving to the upside. Healthcare moving to the downside. That's your weak and strong. Everything else is in between. Yeah, I gotta see the Tesla pump. That was crazy. You see, Jack, how a 9% loss could have been a whole lot more? It's crazy, though, because Tesla's doing this and Amazon's trying to move higher. You know, their discretionary is kicking ass, while SPY's actually losing ground right now. I don't even think I have my SPX chart going. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, for SPX traders, I'd wait for 41.22 to break. This is getting crazy. And this is what I've been explaining to you guys. You know, don't get so frustrated if you find yourself, you know, not trading on a day like today or a couple of the past previous days. You know, there have been amazing moves for scalps, day trade, stuff like that. But overall, for movement, though, there hasn't been much play for that, you know. For one directional moves that end up holding or having continuation, you know, that just hasn't been happening as much lately. For them to continue holding even after the close. You can see a lot of wicks on this chart here. But what else do you notice? A lot of candles within candles, right? If you notice this green candle, for example, you know, let's highlight that. So we'll go from here to here. So basically, this candle's inside of it, this candle's inside of it. This candle tried opening outside of it, closed lower. So back inside of it, 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 inside of it. So not only are we inside of that candle, look at this candle. We're inside of it all the way to this point. Look at this candle. We're inside of it all the way to this point. So we're like squeezing inside of a squeeze inside of a squeeze with how many different days that we're sitting inside that. That's pretty crazy. So again, I just wanted to point that out to you guys. You know, don't freak out or feel rushed or FOMO if it's like, you know, how come I'm not catching a trade every single day, or how come I'm not getting really, really great opportunity. I mean, there has been some. I'm not going to take that away from anybody, but just make sure you go out to the bigger time frame and remind yourself, you know, and by doing that, you're helping yourself out a lot, because you're not just making yourself focus on the smaller picture. Now you're focused on the bigger picture. You're focused on what's going out on the bigger time frames, and this will help you out on the smaller time frames because you're reading it down the price action, or down the time frame. Sorry. So like you're on the daily, then you go down to let's say you're a 30-minute guy. You love looking at the 30-minute. Okay, bam. Now you're talking about it on here and you're able to break down what's happening here, and then you go down to the 5-minute, you can talk about what's happening here. Now you're giving yourself a story of the chart, you know, so make sure you do jump out to the bigger time frame. And it's not even just in terms of being able to tell the story of the chart. It's also just good for not being biased, because if you sit here and tell me what's happening on the 5-minute, you know, someone else might disagree with you on the daily or the 4-hour or the 30-minute, you know, so make sure you're focused on the time frame that you're on too. Like, I wouldn't go for a swing trade if I was on the 5-minute, you know, I'd be focused on like a scalp or a day trade or something, you know, so that also kind of plays into it. And guys, even though we are struggling, we haven't really lost anything. This level here is pretty much worthless because it's not even the pre-market high anymore. That's way up here. And all we've really done is pull back, lowering volume. It looks like we're actually trying to hold 411.80. So again, guys, if we can get back over 90 EMA 5-minute, today's open, you could definitely see some more upside after a potential hold of 411.86. If we end up losing this, watch to see if 411.50s hold. That was a really big level the past few days. So I also wouldn't be surprised if this was where they wanted to prove, hey, we're trying to hold here. So we'll see. See if we get that continued dip. And yeah, Tesla smacked 170 real quick. Amazon also up against a really big area. AMD continuing its struggle train today. AMD cutting into some of those gains from yesterday. Apple also getting back into the lower part of their pre-market. We'll see if they can end up breaking that. It's like a 3 or 4 or 5 day demand or something. Let's see. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. This will be a 4-day. That's crazy. So we'll see if they can finally crack that, or if they're going to continue to build base there. AMD, though, continued weakness. NVIDIA, we'll see if they end up following. They are rejecting from the open once, twice on the 5-minute here. Let's go to our sectors here. Yeah, look at that. Tech never closed above supply. Sellers kept control. Healthcare kept pulling back. Financials did get out of the range finally. Looks like they're trying to pull back into range. We'll see if they hold out of it or in it again. Comms also getting an indecisive candle against a good area. Discretionary's been out of range for a little bit now, so. But we already knew that. Are they going to give us a bigger flush? Or are they just going to take us down to 411.50? It is good positioning. Again, bringing pre-market up to basically a really good area of resistance from previous day that we highlighted. Rambo, the memes. I see you. Meta over Monday high. Good call out. 411.64 is a key level. Good looks. What's up, Misi? Morning, Jimmy. Love the name Jimmy's channel. Be sure to drop a like on the stream, guys. I see we have 114 people in here, only 44 likes. Let's try to even that up a little bit. Right now, we're looking to see if we're going to get continued weakness from the open. Did have a nice pump in the pre-market. Part of this strength, too, is the XLY sector. As you guys can see, the strongest sector of the day when we talked about it has gotten stronger. But also, at the same time, the weakest sector has gotten weaker. So they're almost hurting each other, really. They're kind of taking away from one another. And again, you know, at any time, you could say, you can go to SPY, you can go to Analyze. Fundamentals. Sorry, I was clicking on the wrong tab. And you can see healthcare is 14.29% of SPY. Discretionary, sorry, I was reading something, is only 6.72. So even if they have the greatest day ever, they would have to do a lot to surpass healthcare's damage if healthcare was to continue lower. So think about that. So that's why you're getting a bigger reaction to the downside. We'll see if they end up continuing lower. They did finally pick up volume. Good sign. Got a bigger red candle picking up. So a very good sign for sellers. And they broke 411.50. So as long as they stay under this area, maybe see some buyer reaction up to the 9 EMA, but they should continue lower off of that move, as I say it. Oh my god, they are flushing that. Let's go. Completely flushing it after giving us a rising volume close under here. Quick scalps are able to take very quick profits on that. Did anybody get in on that? That was a very quick flush up. That's very rare. I mean, it's not rare. It happens here and there, but it's rare this early on in the morning, though, that you get a good clean 40% entry like that after that much pullback, and you get a profitable move that quickly. That's crazy. I mean, it's okay if you didn't catch it. It's only a 40% entry. I was curious to see who's all down for quick scalp entries. That's just crazy, though. But remember, guys, I just went to SPX, and I was just explaining this to y'all. There is a very nice gap here, and I wasn't even saying go down to 4109. I just think this area at least need to be tested after breaking today's open. Which I actually see Rambo also. Good job, man. He also just posted the exact same thing I was literally just posting this morning on stream. Why can I never click the right Rambo? It like takes me to another Rambo. Well, nice pullback so far. We'll see if we get a hold of demand here, or if we're going to get a pullback. Now, Jack, make sure to check out the trade results channel here in a second. I want to show you something that kind of connects to the conversation that we've been having. Alright, Jack, check out trade results now. So you'll see, remember I took that small loss on Tesla, then it went back up, and we were like, oh, I dodged a bullet. Well, then I caught that trade. So now, the day's green. And it was all mainly thanks to just kind of staying calm, cool, and collected. Not sitting there freaking out of like, oh, I had to take an L on a swing. I'm never going to get this back up. Catching one quick trade, and then bam, done, fixed it. Apple losing support. We talked about tech still rejecting supply. They have pulled almost all the way back to previous day close and this little short-term retest area from previous day. Tech continued, or healthcare continued its weakness. Good morning, Brian. Banks are still in supply, but they have rejected top of it, touched the bottom of it again. So we'll see if they exit out of 32, which is also a good break of today's open if they can exit this area. Which means bears are taking over for further control of financials if they can do all that. If not, they can end up holding that, building base back up, and retaking supply, turning into demand, and moving higher. Calm's kind of also in a very crucial spot. They just broke today's open again, but they have not broken today's low. So keep an eye on previous day close and today's low for a continuation lower. If not, they can also build base and similar to the financial situation that I just broke down on their sector chart. Discretionary still bullish as long as they hold over previous day highs in this fashion. So they're looking good still. We have seen a pretty massive pullback on SPY, and by massive I just mean from basically the pre-market high, but from open that's all we've been seeing is just a pullback. And at first they were actually holding a pretty good support, not the 9 EMA, so that wasn't good. Next candle we got a really good flush with rising volume, finally breaking that trend of lowering volume, closing under not just a good 411.86 but also the 411.50. And then since then we've just gotten one more flush to give us higher volume to the downside, which most likely will bring us a test of this area below. It just kind of causes the question, do you get a buy reaction first to go reject this, or do you just see a continuation down to 410.50 first? Netflix is coming up. Good call out. Ooh, great call out. We did talk about them a couple times, just holding 331.40s, but I never would have guessed them pumping through previous day highs within 20 minutes of that, 10-minute interval. That is very impressive and very good for the XLC sector. Can you guys tell me what stocks that helps? What does Netflix help out by moving up like that? What other XLC tickers are there? Can somebody tell me the other top 2 weights that we like to watch in here that are in the XLC sector along with Netflix? Fun little quiz question for you. Meta and Google, yes. Noxta got it. Those are correct. I need to get back to doing that more, asking you guys questions. That was really when the streams were on the most fire. I need to be asking y'all sector questions more, stop loss questions, entry questions, just kind of stuff like, and not even just trade questions. Like we could ask all kinds of stuff. We need to get into doing that more again. Start challenging you guys. All right, guys, are we just gonna get that continued flush here or what? Yeah, King Carnage just would have been a good entry for any open range breakout traders for a quick scalp. Within the next 5 minutes, you were already taking good profits on that. Runners are probably still in if you didn't take full profit. A good entry could have also been within the first 15 minutes, but I don't like to advise that because, well, one, I'm not giving you financial advice to get into the trades, but two, I also just don't think that getting into the first 10-15 minutes is necessarily a good strat, just because, yes, sometimes it gives you a more favorable position in your setup, but it's also riskier time to get in because you don't know that it's going to continue lower. Whereas if you waited here, you do have a lot more confidence compared to here. The only difference is that you don't have as favorable of a position. But new low made just now, so either way it looks like you weren't trapped. Like I said, most likely still getting that retest of this area here, guys. And I mainly say that not just because of the rising volume. It's mainly because of the way that we sold off. We went from potentially holding to, no, we're definitely pulling back. You know, that changes a lot of people's minds, but not at the same time. So it makes sense that we get a slower retest of 410.50s after flushing in these two candles like that. Instead of getting like a fat buy reaction and then we move lower. It would make sense that we continue moving lower. Good stuff, though. All right, now let's see, can we break this area? This is a very crucial area. This could be consolidated on for hours. This could be bounced off of. This could be flushed through. This is a very, very important area, and I honestly had a feeling we'd be back here again just because this has been the trend for the entire week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, we're going to be coming back to this area. And I could probably go back more and get more days in a row. Go to 15 days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty much 6. Doesn't count, doesn't count. 7. So you can see over the last 10 days, 15 days, 7 of them have been definitely affected in the 410, 410.50 area. So I would not be surprised if you get a buy reaction from here, or if we just consolidated here for a while. A little bit of a flush before end of day, we see a pump back above it. It's just, this area is like a magnet right now. Just remember 410, 410.50 magnet. I never touched the first 10, rarely ever in the first 15. My target was 14.55. I only ever take trades in the first 10 or 15 minutes, and I try not to. Honestly, it's a very bad thing to continuously do over time. A very bad habit to get into. But the only reason I would ever take trades that early on in the morning for a scalp trade is, 1, if I know I'm not risking enough to completely piss me off for the rest of the day or the week. And then 2, so 1, good risk management. 2, good positioning. So if I see we're against supply, that would be a good sign that sellers definitely have better chance of moving lower than buyers have a chance of taking this, sitting on top of it, and moving higher. You know, so it really does rely on how you view the chart. Great job, Mel. He got out at 95%. You beat me, man. I only got 80.5% out of that. Great job. Round of applause, boss. Oh, yeah, you did post. Good stuff. Nasty gap. Let's look at our sectors again. All right, so guys, tech down to previous day close. Expect some buyers to step in, or some consolidation, or some slowdown if we do not just continue flushing through through this 152.35. If we do flush through it, you have an area below to look for. I'm actually about to go repost these in chat real quick. Healthcare, even though I don't have a marked level on here, we did just cross 130, which is a strong psychological number. My next level is at 129. So actually, I should probably just throw that up there. There we go. I don't like to just throw black charts up on the screen, because then people are like, well, hold up, where is it going? I like to give people a little bit of insight of where it may be headed. XLF, this is your financial sector. They actually look like they want to come down a little bit more, but we need to see a little bit more volume, it looks like. But potential 3-bar play to the downside kind of look for banks. XLC, they've basically just got a good rejection, and they pull back. Nothing super crazy, though. Nothing like the XLY push to the upside or the XLV push to the downside. How many of you have been taking a lot of my charting advice on the sectors and a lot of the different charts I've been using a lot more with you guys recently, especially with these first 5. How many of you guys have been taking advantage of the sectors, at least drawing these short-term levels from previous day? Maybe even on your equities, how many of you have been doing it? You know, how many of you have been doing it here? And yeah, probably a fib time now, finally. Leland posted much higher, I would assume. I'm happy for Leland. I'm not even. It unphases me now. Like I'm so unsurprised by the gains now. It's just like, oh, chat started posting some crazy gains again. Oh wow, cool. It's just like I'm so numb to it now. Me, too much to comprehend, but most. Okay. That's a good VC, at least getting a good start. And even if you don't have everything, you know, under lock, you know, at least you have a good start. And you're working on it, at least you're kind of there. Be sure to drop a like on the stream, guys, if you have not already. So far, all we've gotten is a nice pullback to the downside. What I'm looking for right now is a fib from that drop to where we caught support and started moving back up again. And I want to see, do we go up and make new highs? And if we can pass 50% or 65%, then we could actually be seeing a good reversal popping up in place. And then I'll delete it and we'll just move on from there. Then we'll go back to our sector, see what's trying to base out, see what's trying to move higher. If not, we get a good rejection of the 50 or the 65, and then we get a lower high of that high that rejects. Then we can take super passive lead test trades to the downside. If not, though, then I'm just going to ignore it. I took a small loss on a Tesla swing overnight. Then I took a pretty nice sized 80.5% scalp on SPX this morning on that drop. And now I'm cash. So I don't have to take another trade. But this is a good trade idea that I know a lot of you are looking for right now. So I'm just kind of pointing it out. See if we get if we get the rejection and then the lower high of that rejection, and then you could take really good passive entry from that. If you end up taking just the first initial rejection, again, that's awesome. Feel free to play off of that. The Tesla swing is invalid now. Yes. Not only did they break above today's open, we actually cut within the first 5 minutes. I had said this on stream, but as well as in my Discord chat where I had previously posted it. But what invalidated it, I'll go over that. It broke over today's open, so that's one thing that just kind of early on, like, that's not really a good thing. 2, it was investor day, so that didn't really kill us as much as it could have, so I was very happy about that. The nice pullback at open definitely helped us get out of that trade, but we pushed back above today's open. We pushed above a really good resistance and actually held above that as supply. Again, this was supply. We broke above it, sat on top of it, turning it into bullish control now, turning that into demand. So very, very good sign that not only has it invalidated any swings, it has invalidated any short positions to the downside until they retake this area again. So yeah, it is 100% invalidated. Sucks, but whatever. It looks like the first rejection came in pretty strong from the 50%. We'll see if they end up getting back above that and want to do the same thing up here, or if they want to create their lower high right here and go ahead and continue going down towards 410.60, 410.50 again. Minnie and anybody else who might take swings that are in the chat, if you see someone post their own trade idea and you also happen to copy that trade idea, make sure you have your own risk management set as well. I mean, it's nice to wait for whoever originally posted it as well, but if you're going to sit there and also take it, I would also have your own plan set up just in case that said person or something crazy happens, you know, like just in any case or scenario, it's just good to have that plan. Oh, good post, Burak. Good post, Charlie. I see you guys posting really clean updates and charts so far. Nvidia's killing it. Good call out creator trades. Apple's still struggling though. Even with this pump, they're still under a very important area, guys. I pointed this out to you guys because it's very important that over the past 1, 2, 3, almost 4 days now, they've been using this to reverse. On the 4th day, they're trying to use it to move lower. So keep an eye on that. Potentially seeing a very strong bullish area turn into a strong seller area. So keep an eye on Apple. That's a very, very crucial weight. AMD made it to the first target, pulled back up. We'll see if we get a pullback down or if they're going to retake that and push towards today's open. Microsoft at a very crucial spot at the same time as Apple. So is Nvidia. So a lot of tech charts had very crucial spots at their charts. Tesla's still moving higher. Kicking ass. Let's go. Meta, Netflix, Google still doing all right. So XLC doing great. Banks actually look kind of ugly. Healthcare still curling, still slowing down. There's that calm push that we just talked about. Financials, there's that the Tesla Amazon push we just talked about. So got a couple sectors. We got the strongest or the weakest, the strong weak sector is what I'm trying to say. The weak sector in itself is slowing down. The sector that was pushing higher is continuing to push higher, and some of the sectors that pushed higher hit supply are now kind of just slowing down, consolidating, and you can see tech is at a crucial spot. So we got a couple different updates there in the weights, and then a potential lead test on SPY here, but no confirmations yet. We just got one rejection of it so far. They touched the 9 EMA. We're getting a good buy reaction. If they can create a lower high here, puts can definitely be the wave again. But if they don't make that lower high and they end up closing over the 50%, we could definitely see a retest of golden pocket and potentially see an invalidated bearish move. So kind of watching two different scenarios play out right now. Max pain on AMD is about 97. Great update. You swung some meta calls, 202 to 246. Great job, Jack. So VC's the only one who uses the levels and the zones. That's what I took away from that. I just wanted to see who else has been doing it for the sectors. I think you guys should at least do it for these charts. It has been very, very, very effective and very helpful. I don't even see it as like a, oh, this will help me get more trades kind of thing. I really do see it as a, I want more information. I want to be aware of what SPY could possibly do when, you know. I feel like that just going through those first 5 definitely give you a lot of that. It's nice to have confidence and awareness. Lower high is in place. This could be your flush. Oh, where's my water? They broke under 9 EMA. There's your continuation. Small scalp gains so far. See if they end up flushing it further, or if they're going to try and bring it back up to that halfway point. That orange level, again, is what I'm calling the halfway point or the control point. Pretty nice little almost inverse looking head and shoulder. I don't like to call out those vague patterns because they're not really the most accurate. But I do like that little look it's got going there in the 1 minute. Potentially giving buyers the confidence to try and at least go retest golden pocket. I'm not saying take it, but they should at least go smack this. Oops, I didn't mean to go to the 3 minute. We'll go to the 5 minute. You can see we just got an indecisive candle here so far in the 5 minute. Apple still rejecting 171. That is a crucial weight. AMD retaking a good level. That's a good sign. Microsoft still holding 311. Almost said 313 for some reason. Nvidia at supply of previous day high. See if they want to go test the top of that or if they just want to stop there. Tesla does not care. So Nvidia is still in range on the watch list. Tesla hit 2 targets to the upside on the watch list, and then AMD seems to have just broken to the downside and then hit the first target to the downside. Actually, my bad. They hit first 2 targets as well. I didn't even realize I put 100 flat there. I just thought 99.20 was next. So it did hit first 2 targets on AMD. Okay, so 2 of them worked out. 1 of them still in range. And on SPY, I don't think we've done anything yet. Yeah. We did get above 412, but this was when I set the list here. And then this happened after I posted the list. So we basically just went up to supply, pulled back, aggressively pulled back, getting a buyer reaction, and now we're looking to see, can we start to consolidate above here? Can we get a good base build going on here? Are we going to reject here, give us a good lower high to bring us back down? We'll see. So just kind of gauging the pullback / potential rejection. Again, though, if any time you're lost on a chart, make sure you zoom out to a bigger time frame, or at least tell the story of the chart on your smaller time frame and tell yourself what's happened up to this point. You're not trying to be biased. I was just pointing out that it looks like a David. Again, I'm not trying to call it that. I'm not trying to give you an exact level on a potential inverse head and shoulder that I don't even like calling those out. I was just saying it's starting to represent one. Maybe start to see if it holds up. And history-wise, everyone always looks for head and shoulders like this. Everybody likes looking for these, like perfect parallel shoulders. And flip this, it's an inverse head and shoulder. When in reality, the better inverse head and shoulders happen on angles. You'll have your first shoulder start off like this, and then you'll have your head go up like that. And then at an angle, you'll have the other shoulder kind of do it again. And at an angle, it's doing that. At an angle, it's forming that. They always form at an angle, in my opinion. If you see a straight up head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder, in my experience, those have actually been a lot weaker. And I feel like it's a lot more simple than we think. I really do see it as like, oh, you're just gonna print a inverse head and shoulder on my screen that makes it super easy. Oh, okay, then I'm just not gonna trade it then, because in my eyes, I see it as them putting it on the screen for you to see it as something like that, and then get into longs, build a position to the upside, when in reality they're building to try and move it lower or bring you back down to the bottom of the range. Not even to move lower sometimes, but in that process though, catching and trapping you and your premium in there. So in short, what I'm saying is anytime something looks too good to be true, a lot of the time it is. And that's not crazy to say. It's a very real aspect of the market that a lot of people don't like to talk about because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Excuse my language. Amazon is looking strong. Yeah, I like the reversal. I'm glad to see them retaking today's open. I didn't mark my zones today on them, but if I did, I would have drawn it like this because the previous day high is right there. And the last open of the green candle is right there before the reversal. So that's an area of supply. They went down, or they broke above it, tested it, so now they're turning it into demand. So basically, as long as they hold between, or above, 114.59 and potentially 114.79, this is very bullish for Amazon. If they end up losing this and can't make a new high, or end up making a lower high or double top and rejecting and breaking this, then this can be very bad. This can make buyers a lot more hesitant to getting back in and defending this until they get to another significant level, which again logically makes sense. If you lose a very crucial area that I worked super hard to control and I lose it, it's going to be very hard for me to defend it again until we get to another significant area or an area of importance. Again, and what is that? Again, we have 114.17 here. You have previous day close way down here at 113.40, so what does that aggressive pullback that we need to get to again means? Sorry guys, I was replying to somebody in chat. Misi looking for an 80% or lead test. Bugs Money came into chat and said, I'm mostly be cash at 10:45. Biden is speaking on the debt ceiling. Heads up for all. Today, Junior, 10:45. Is that Eastern? Because if it's Eastern, then that's in 25 minutes. Eastern, okay, Eastern, yeah. So 25 minutes, 24 minutes now. All right, well, I'll just sit cash then too. Bugs, thank you for the heads up. It's crazy because I was literally just talking about debt ceiling so much I hadn't even realized that was happening, but thank you for telling me. Yeah, I'll just sit cash. that sounds very safe. Shout out Walt. Oh, Bloomberg. Shout out Walter. Love the teamwork. Ooh, okay, I just saw Leland's mill. Yep, he did beat us both, didn't he? Did you get a better entry than me, Mel? Oh, no. Never mind, you didn't. I think I do like your entry more, though, than mine. It was a little later than mine by like 2 minutes, but it was a lot more passive. And you didn't really get a worse fill than me. You probably got a similar fill. You got a better percentage. Very good on your exits. Leland, though, did really, really good. Good job, Leland. And he's just playing the levels, too. Like, he literally didn't play anything out of the norm. Like, I'm not taking away from Leland. He's a very hard worker. I'm just simply saying what he did wasn't impossible to do. Took the break right here at 8:45. Took it down to a good breakdown. Go to SPY. Go to SPY and go back to what I was talking about. But we got the clean break under the control point, under 411.50. Got the clean close under it. Got the clean flush. What's the next important level underneath? About 410.50s. We didn't quite get there, but we got pretty close. So really, really good profitable scalp there. And even if you got in earlier on, like me, Mel, and maybe even Leland, I didn't see what time he got in, but I would assume he got in pretty early. Still though, very nice. Again, though, guys, I would go through trade results as much as you possibly can. Not even just by like some of the SPX trades. There are so many trades by members in here where they're breaking down exactly what they're doing, the reasoning behind everything, and it's super effective. Wow, this is crazy. This is one of the few bots I call in my chat, but this guy grew up in my chat, so it's one of the few reasons I have him in here. But he posted Home Depot 287.50 calls and Lowe's 202.50 calls yesterday, 126 and 102. Today, about 45, 47 minutes after the open, he's closing Home Depot that he opened at 126 at 360, just taking most of them, I'm sure. And then Lowe's at 215, which he opened at 102. Insane gains in just those two swings alone. Good stuff. Anybody caught that? I see Rambo got some kick-ass gains from that too. Good stuff, man. You're everywhere. Leland officially a Jedi? Dude, that's the best way to put it, yeah. I would say Leland's a Jedi. Don't cross him. Leland's a dual-wielding Jedi. Knowing Leland, he probably got in 0.001 seconds before it flushed. Love me some Barry. Yeah, Barry's awesome. And that's a really big thing I'm against, and I have been for the longest time, and it's probably made me a little less popular amongst other communities, but I don't care. I don't like having 50 bots in my damn chat. You know, I want to know who the hell's posting. Kindred, I work with Kindred. I literally give him my list to post every day, so I get his bot for free. DukeBot, this is a guy who literally grew up in my chat. Hell yes, I'm going to want his shit in my chat. That's a guy who's going to post trades that I like looking at. You know, I want to see his ideas, so if I like them, I can take some of them. You know, I can get into some of those trades. I can follow some of them, build my own plans around them. So I like having that in there. Two massive green lightsabers. No, he would have a red and a green. He'd have one of each. Because before, he really did take, like, all puts plays. But now, he has been taking a really good mix of calls and puts. So, I got to give it to Leland, man. He is truly one of the most unique and diverse traders I've ever met. He's not just really good at the downside. He's really good at both sides. Hopefully, he's not here to hear me hype him up so he doesn't go lose his next trade or something. Hey B, I think the change of your playlist has caused spy confusion. Not hearing Dreaming or Acid Nation is causing it to just move sideways. Honestly, that is fair enough, because I have not played either of those playlists in a couple days now, and right around that time we started consolidating on the daily time frame. That's weird, but you are correct, Eric. I will give you that one. It's just by 10. David, sorry, I just saw your question. But you convert SPX price to SPY by multiplying the value of it by 10. So that's pretty much how you get it. That's why it's really easy for SPX or SPY traders to say, oh, 41.10. Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Not even after hitting supply from before it dropped. Could call it Zaytoven. He said SPX is rising price, lowering volume on the 10-minute. Okay, Leland actually bought the same time as me. Maybe our portfolios are connected. Maybe I've been trading for Leland this whole time and I didn't know it. Oh, I see, Noxta. Take care, Boo Rock. He said he'll be on the Discord. Good looks, good looks. Poots only. You're literally the same person. Stop hiding it. Oh my God, Satch. Fight Club Leland is Josh. His name was Robert Paulson. His name was Robert Paulson. Or is it Robert Paulson? I don't even remember the name anymore. That's how crazy that movie is. That movie is a fever dream, but it's like, it's one that you enjoy. It's weird. Fight Club is crazy. Tyler! 3-bar play, 15-minute Tesla. Oh, good looks. I would call it that, yeah. 100%.
Lelands and calls. I think I like that trade he's taking too, because like he sees this invalidation of the control point as an immediate test of the golden pocket. So in Leland's eyes, he probably sees this as like a straight buyer move. So I assume that's what he did, if he wasn't in before that. I'm just guessing here. Oh, kick ass bugs. I just saw your post, man. Good job, man. Huge gains. Were those all swings? I hate that you post that guy so much because I can't say his name on stream. I literally been whenever I turn on my charts and go read chart bugs, I turn on like different shows and stuff. But I've been rewatching the later seasons of Rick and Morty while I've been charting these past couple days. Green bean for the day. Thanks for the stream, Bueller. Ooh, he's rapping at me. I like the calls from invalidating golden pocket, but I don't have the confidence for that. No, Knox. And in any way, I'm not saying that's a confident trade. I just think that's what he did. I'm not even sure if that's what he did or not. But no, definitely not anything to have a great amount of confidence in, because that doesn't always happen either. You don't always get that invalidation here. Sometimes it does this move, and then this is the candle that gives you a good reversal, and it pulls back down, So not always a good thing to just jump in there. But I like his risk. I like the plan that he had, if that's even what he did. I just thought that was, logically speaking, that makes sense to me. And I assume it makes sense to you too, but yeah, like you said, super, super risky. But it makes sense. It makes sense. Okay, yeah, so look, he was in before it even happened. So ignore what I said. I just thought that was interesting, though, that kind of thinking. Seeing the control point break, it should instantly make you think, like, all right, well, we should probably go up to whatever the golden pocket is then. Where are you dreaming? All right, Eric, I'll play it. You're asking me to go to a completely different playlist now. Alright, I'm playing it. I'm going to go to the other playlist, though, so I can go back when I need to. I don't even know what the new playlist sounds like. I hope it's good. I've been listening to other music on days that I solo stream. Be sure to drop a like on the stream, by the way. Hopefully a lot of you guys are enjoying some of the info, some of the breakdowns, some of the ideas. I'm actually going to rechart Microsoft right now while we wait to see what the heck SPY's going to do. I'll leave those levels there, then I'll come through here and just get all these. Oh, it is charted. It's just not charted up here. Oh, okay. Well, that makes way more sense. I was like, how come I don't have levels on Microsoft around here? It's not that I don't. It's that I just haven't charted it. All right, so that was a higher level. We'll leave that, though. All right. Never mind, we're not recharting Microsoft. It's already done. 310.75 should have been the break below if I ever did a list on this for Microsoft. Potential base build in demand on Microsoft. See if they can hold that or not. Leland said this level right here that I'm marking right now is the SPX open for the week and that it's a battleground. All right, potential double top at the golden pocket. Damn, Baba's doing it. God, this daily time frame is so screwed up for this chart. Let's do monthly levels. They have a gap fill up to 90.70s. About a $2.50 move after that. Yeah, no, Baba is a pain in the ass. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've had success with it, but I've also had complete failures with it, and it's literally just because of the amount of movement that it has. But then you'll sometimes catch yourself in those days where it doesn't move, where it gets tired of moving. You know, it just got finished gapping down or gapping up, you know, for endless weeks at a time. And then you get to those couple weeks where it does actually slow down and you're trying to trade it up or down and it doesn't move at all. And that's because it's super freaking tired. So yeah, Baba can definitely be a harder one to swing. Sand Dollar though seems to do really well with it for swing trades. I've seen him lose a few, but he seems to do a very good job at winning for the majority of the time. Which, in my opinion, is a very good feat for something like Baba when swing trading. I'm kind of tired of looking at the 1 minute, not going to front. Let's check out our sector charts. So tech, really impressive bounce. They're getting very close to where they started today. They are less than 20 cents from today's open. Healthcare got a little bit of a slowdown, like I said. Not anything of a pop, really. They got back above the 9. They let it catch up, and now they're rejecting again. So the weak sector is still weak. Financials are at the top of their supply again. Comms are in their supply after getting above today's open. And discretionary is continuing to staircase higher off of the Tesla momentum. Again, Tesla up almost 4% now with this push to the new high of day at 172.78. Very, very clean move. Yep, we have one good rejection. Will we get a lower high or will this be the rejection? I just wanted to go through the sectors again just to kind of show what's still strong, what's weakening. And you can see even though healthcare is your weakest sector, even they have not been moving a whole lot over the last 10, 20, 30 minutes. Tech themselves got a really good pop back to the upside. Financials still holding well. Comms are still holding well. Discretionary moving even higher. So a lot of good uptrending sectors for the most part. Your win rate for Baba is not very nice. For profit, are you here? I don't check. I really am sorry about this, but I do not check my Twitter DMs at all. I just saw you sent me one a couple days ago, but then I saw your message where you said disregard my message. I got it figured out. If you ever need help with that, man, feel free to ask me on stream too. I'm always happy to answer questions right here. Because this is something I do very actively. I love changing my chart. You know, if I go from this one to this one, I'm always going to be. Yeah, I know it was a couple days now. It was like 5 days, and then Friday he sent me another one saying disregard, and it was like, shit, I'm way late. There's another DM there for like 7-8 days ago. Like I just don't check Twitter DMs enough. Like I forget they even have Twitter DMs. Oh, for profit. I was talking to you. I was saying, feel free to ask me questions here if you want to as well. But I was laughing because I saw you say disregard your message. You were asking about switching through time frames or through different chart sets. How I do here. Definitely super effective. You're a member too, so you have basically access to all of my settings and every part of my setup too. So it's at the very. I think it's at the very, very bottom of the members section. It should be one of those first like 3-4 videos. But I'm glad you figured it out, though, because that's a super awesome tool. I like going into this and being able to just be like, all right, guys, here's smaller time frame, here's bigger time frame, and being able to keep my chart sets different. It's definitely super helpful and definitely helps me stay organized. 2 minutes till Biden. Oh, okay, cool. Sleepy guy. I like that's what everyone calls him now. It's not even like a Republican versus Democrat thing. That's just like his nickname now. Hey man, I respect the man. He likes to sleep. This is the beat that gets you going. What song's playing? Oh, it's still playing the other playlist, I see. I forgot to switch over because of Eric. LOL, true that I'm jealous. I need more sleep. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I kind of envy Joe Biden. Like, dude gets to sleep and I don't, you know? Mad respect. Oh my god, he took higher targets on Home Depot and Lowe's. You are kidding me. What are those charts doing? Oh my lord. I don't even think he calls these out too much either. Alright, let's go to the day. Let's see, why did he like these? Okay, so he liked the high volume, long-legged doji, regardless of it being earnings. And this, of course, got good reaction from earnings, but again, he liked the reversal candle with good volume. So that was probably 300% of the reason he liked those plays. And he probably was aiming for the 9 EMA. Now he's probably aiming for the 21, which has to be somewhat close to where they are now. I don't feel like turning it on. Still getting a rejection at the golden pocket. Pretty nasty rejection again on another lower high, another rejecting move from 411.80, 411.86, which 411.86 my level. 411.80 is the Lee test golden pocket level, an area of potential rejection. So you could also just combine those two areas. You can see we're rejecting both. No need to erase either. Yep, Biden very soon. Yeah, healthcare pulling back. Very, very nasty. Financials and comms also pulled back, but they're not breaking anything. It's just a short-term seller reaction, nothing crazy. And discretionary did move higher at the same time. But remember, guys, I already showed you the math discrepancy between healthcare and discretionary. Which one's stronger, guys? Healthcare or discretionary? We went over it this morning. Spy can't get over previous day open. Great call out, Misi. Love the call outs, Driz, Misi, everybody. Keep them up. Spy is the strongest sector. That's when you're like, it's either XOK, XOV, XLF, XRC, XOY. It's one of those, it's one of those. Alexa said discretionary. That would be wrong. Healthcare is a lot larger than discretionary. As you can see, of SPY at least, discretionary makes up for under 7%. While healthcare is over 14%. So it's a little over double than discretionary. Just so you know. A really easy way to remember healthcare is that it's almost always going to be one of your largest sectors, but it's almost always also going to be one of the least popular sectors. Even during COVID, XLV wasn't as popular as it probably should have been, during all the healthcare crisis stuff. But again, healthcare, one of the least popular sectors, lower volume, people don't watch it that much. Especially retail. Retail do not watch XLV. Wasn't an SPX call. Driz said he saw XLV, which is healthcare, pull and got out early for a minimal loss. Sectors are great for risk management. Good stuff, dude. And even if it's not telling you, like, oh, this is definitely coming down, it's like, it's just good to know, like, okay, one of the top two sectors is pulling down, while one of the other two top sectors is slowing down. One's breaking lower, one's slowing down. So it gives you a little bit more insight on what's going on. Good job, though, Driz. Very happy to see you actually using that. Seriously. It's not meant to, like, force you in or out of a trade, but it is really good for information. So I'm very happy to hear that. Yeah, unless you're Sherman with UNH, yes. He would be one of the people that actually do watch XLV. Which I like watching XLV. I like watching it for that exact reason, for the fact that nobody watches it. It's an overly looked, important, crucial piece of information. You'll see it day in and day out. It's crazy. Go to Twitter, go to Discord. You'll see people complain like, oh my God, SPY is falling, or what's this big red candle? And then they don't know that they can go check the sectors. A lot of the time, sometimes when you go look, when people say that, it's because a lot of people look at like tech, discretionary, banks, comms. Like we all look at all these stocks. A lot of people don't pay attention to healthcare tickers. And I'm not trying to talk shit, but most people here probably couldn't even name 3-4 of the weights in the top 5-6 weights. And that's not really your fault. It's just, again, not a popular sector. But again, it's not meant to like put you in or out of a trade. It's literally just to give you more information that can lead to you getting in or out of a trade. You know, so let's say you already have other reasons to get out of your trade because you don't like it, and then you see something else like a sector pull back to also kind of add on to give you the cherry on top, really, is what I'm saying. So that's always good. But you guys know me, I'm always going to be checking it. But I mean, it's the second heaviest sector, and it has been for a very long time, you know, so pretty important. But you'll see that though. A lot of vague traders, people who don't look at a whole lot, will always be faked out by that because they're too focused on looking at like Apple, Microsoft sector, Amazon, Tesla sector, Google, Meta, Netflix sector, the banks. You know, they're too busy looking at those. You know, not realizing, hey, the second largest sector is breaking lower. You're going to see that reflect on the SPY chart. Even if it's only short term, you are going to see that price action be reflected. Especially if tech ends up lining up with the same price action. If you have, even if tech just slows down and healthcare is pulling lower, you'll see a slight red reaction on SPY because the largest sector isn't moving higher and the second largest is pulling lower. You will see that instantly. So, really glad to see a lot of you guys like Driz. Very good example. Round of applause to Driz again. Mad respect. Taking those and just using it for information. That's what I want to see. Nothing in this market by itself is going to tell you to buy or sell. Nothing. You have to find combining factors that make sense to you, give you more confidence. Keep the daily quiz coming. Thanks for that, B. No problem, Alexis. Remember, you can do that, though. When you go to the SPY chart on TOS, or if you go to Google even, you can type in what are the top sectors of SPY. It'll show you. But go to charts and then click SPY. Make sure you have it hooked up on the one. Go to analyze. Make sure that's hooked up on the one, the symbol link. And then you can see the top weights. So you'll see XLK, largest sector. Healthcare, second largest. Ignore uncategorized. Banks, comms, discretionary. You know, then it starts to break into a lot of your smaller sectors again. But where's energy? There it is. Good rejection so far. Really nice pullback from Golden Pocket, test of halfway point. Are they going to give us another retest, or are they just going to continue to flush it under 411.50s right here? The forbidden sector, uncategorized. No, I think it's just messed up right now because some weights got shifted around. So on TOS, it's not being reflected correctly. That's normally your second weakest or your second lightest or third lightest sector for the most part. But I think something got shifted around and it's messed up because now uncategorized is ranked 2, which is just not right. So I think it's just a bug or something going on right now while a bunch of weights get shifted. Also, in the middle of the year, I think it's like every year, every other year, I'd have to go relook again. A lot of your smaller weights, a lot of your bigger weights, a lot of these ETFs, a lot of your sectors, a lot of these things get readjusted, recalculated, reweighted. Some things get taken out, some things get added into each sector or each ETF or each, whatever. So you have to keep that in mind. Middle of the year, a lot of the time, you're going to be seeing shifting in weights too, so. I'd have to go see the exact dates, but I remember we talked about this last year when we saw the Russells change around. We saw a bunch of things enter the IWM sector. We saw a lot of things exit the IWM sector. It was just kind of cool to see the kind of reallocation, the shift around. What's up, though, guys? Do y'all think we hold this and push higher, retest today's open, or do you think we'll break this and push lower and retest today's low? Which one do you think comes first? And be sure to drop a like on the stream. Appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. You think you have no idea? Well, Nox, at least you're telling the truth because most people, everybody has no idea. Full bar play on 10-minute SPY. Let's see if I can click correctly. Possibly. Good eye. Good job, Driz. I can see you were paying attention when we had that big discussion. I really confused a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but I had a few people confused when we talked about 3-bar plays, 4-bar plays, and then they were started asking like, well, are like 10-bar plays a thing? It's like, well, hold up, man, you're getting ahead of yourself. But I'm glad to see you caught that, though. Good job, Driz. You mean some are right, most are wrong. Or consolidate and burn the premium. 100% foul, that's definitely very possible. Andreas, you are 100% correct. Keeping himself hedged, I like it. It's either up or down. You're 100% correct. Can't argue on that one. I must be dreaming because I want it to go higher. Yeah, you must be dreaming. All right, let's see. They are out of the golden pocket on the 5 minutes, so that should give buyers leeway to working themselves towards that today's open. I'm going to go ahead and remove this now, guys. We can still see the range pretty much. I mean, our fibs and our levels pretty much lined up anyway. Just to keep the chart clean. But that should give buyers leeway towards testing today's open, today's high area. If not, then we'll see a complete fade and we'll be back into range and they'll consolidate. And kind of like Foul just said, burn a bunch of premium up. A very real possibility. You guys got to remember how much power Powell really does wield. It's not even just in his words. It's in his existence. Just knowing that he's speaking Friday definitely throws people off. The stock/option academy goes over the 3-4 bar play as well. I'm glad to see somebody is going through the resources. Thank you, For Profit. More power to you. Oh, my bad, Mighty One. I should probably re-mention it. I'm not even going to front. I forgot about that. I'm glad you said that. I'm kind of excited for that, really. I don't even know what tickers I'm going to do. I have no plans for it. I just know that I'm going to go through my normal charting, and then I'm going to go through a good amount of tickers, and that's about it. I have no intentions of what tickers I'm doing. I'll probably do a good few from here, like AMD, NVIDIA. I like doing those the most because they're really easy to do, and I feel like they're some of the most fun to trade. Maybe we'll do a top weight like Apple or Microsoft or something too. We'll go through SPY. Should the charting session be members only, or should I just do it for everybody? I'll just do it for everybody. YouTube. I just spelled YouTube with YouTube. YouTube. There we go. And guys, if you need to somehow do the conversion for what is 6 p.m. Central Standard Time in your time, just go to Google and type in 6 p.m. CST2 and then type in your time zone and it will tell you what time that is. My bound to Oaktown. Catching up now. I'd maybe chart beyond Noxta. Maybe. The other two, though, I'm gonna completely miss out on those. What's your opinion on the meta chart? Alright, so based on my levels, it looks like they have gotten over... Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it was a 2 day ago. The 2 day ago supply, they couldn't even get up to it yesterday. They got over it today. They're still fighting to hold over it, though. You can see they pushed above it, failed. Pushed above it, failed. Pushed above it. Can we get some candles sitting on top of this, or at least closing over it? Because you've only gotten one candle to truly open and close over it. Every other candle has either only done one or the other. So, got a couple candles closing over now. Can we get more? Is essentially what meta looking like it needs to try to do. If they can hold over 240, 240.25, this can definitely help them reach. I would do every dollar and a half out for meta. A break under this, though, I wouldn't instantly say, oh, it's going to start pulling back down heavy, because that's not true. Today, they have actually built some good short-term support. They built up on top of this level here at 239.62. They came back down again, wick touched it, and they built off that again. So it's not necessarily fair to say, oh, once they break 240, it's flushing. Like, no, they also need to break this, looks like, too, which was just formed from today. So keep that in mind. Ready for mounting. What a name. Damn, I was going to wear my members-only jacket to the stream. Shh, don't tell them about that. Door dashing today. That's a good grind. Dude, if you have trouble with time zone math, maybe trading's not for you. That's a very good point. Close some Netflix here at the slowdown. 0.62 to 1.11. Thanks, Barry. Good stuff, Jack. Okay, guys, look, he does bleed. He says, yes, I take losses. I am not a dual-wielding Jedi. This looks like one of those losses you go take on purpose to go tell people you lose. Like, he was like, I'll just go lose like $70 real quick and I'll tell him I lose. Just to show us that he bleeds, but it's really... Yeah, look, see, he said it too, photoshopped. Nah, Leland does lose. I just like to hype him up because I like seeing my friends win. He does lose, though. Just so what y'all said in the YouTube chat, Jesus. I like how we're on the same exact page. Jesus, that's a good name. Forrest Whitaker's Crooked Eye. And the GOAT at keeping losses small. Yeah, for real. He really is. I got you, Luthan. Don't even worry about it, bro. You already did the hard work. I'll do the rest for you. I have something awesome to show everybody. I guess I'll post it in multiple channels. Alright, so if you guys are in the Discord, go to the trade floor. I just posted an awesome little visual he made for everybody. I'm going to post it in my main channel as well. And pin it as well. Pin. So yeah, go to trade floor, drop a reaction on that. Really awesome visual posted by Leland. But that is something all of you should go react to. Save it in your phone. Save it on your computer. He just gave you guys the easiest little template to use. I honestly, I might make lead test mouse pads because of this. Yeah, Leland, I'm gonna get some mouse pads going. pictures. Save. Upload. Pictures. I already did it. I could already add this to my cart for $23. Dude, yeah, we need to do some mouse pads. This is actually kind of cool. How many of you guys use, alright, hold up. How many of you guys use, like, the little mouse pads? And then how many of you guys use, like, a huge desk mouse pad? Because I personally use the huge-ass desk one. But honestly, the reason I said mouse pad before you all start thinking I'm weird is I think it'd be really cool to have like that kind of image on your mouse pad, because that's something you're going to always have right in front of your eyes. So you'll be kind of forced to focus on, all right, don't take any trades that are outside of this. If it's anything outside of this, I'm not touching it. You know, that's kind of how I see it. Okay, so it looks like a lot of you guys use the big ones. Maybe we need to do the big one then. David says he likes big ones. Alright. Nobody get out of hand. I shouldn't even have made the first joke. I shot the first shot. Alright. We got a nice pullback, but it didn't really take anything out like the 90 MA. Like I said, as long as they're still holding this area, you're probably getting a good push up to today's open/high. Yeah, no, it was foul play. It was foul play. It was foul play. Shots fired. Shots fired. Yeah, Comms just pushed a new high. Netflix doing good. Google building back up, nothing crazy. But Meta also pushing. Good call out, Oaktown Poppy, who's the one who was talking about Meta. But it seems like they are still holding above that. They got 3 good candle closes above that area finally, which is something they failed to do before. They had 1 candle here, but that was about it. So a lot more confidence on this one rather than the first 2 attempts. It's also kind of a psychology thing, Oaktown Poppy. Remember this, write this down. Rule of 3 and rule of 5. 3 and 5 are really big psychological numbers in terms of repeated cycles. So like anytime in life when you try something 3 times or 5 times, it feels a little bit more than 3 or 5 times. Whereas like trying once or twice doesn't feel like that much. 3 or 5 times though, these are psychological. I don't even really know the word to use for it, but just trust me, there's a lot of pressure when you try something out 3 or 5 times. Not even just in charts, in life. But here on the chart though, you can see it perfectly play out. You can see the first time they tried it, they couldn't really get over anything. They couldn't even get a good close over. They got a close and a good open on the next candle, but no good open and a close over on a single candle. Second try, what do we get? You get a close over, just like we did the first time. You actually get a good candle to open and close over, so you got 1. But then the next candle we get it open, and it instantly comes back down. So a little stronger than the first, but not what we needed. What happens in this one? Well, we get the close over. Same exact thing that happened the first 2 times. Open and close, open and close, open and close, except this one actually gave us a good wick and retest. So this one actually giving us a little bit more confidence that they're actually testing support and trying to move higher, or to break that support to come back down. So getting a little bit more confidence. We can see the rule of 3 playing out right there perfectly, which again doesn't happen everywhere. Jazz, loyal supporter for 3 months now. That's crazy how time flies. It definitely has not felt like 3 months. Glad to have you though, Jazz. Thank you for supporting the YouTube channel. Always appreciate you. I can't wait till I start seeing some of y'all's stars change colors again. The blues and greens are getting old. I need to go look and see what color do you get what month. I think you have to go 6 months now to get your next color, though. I don't think it has 4 or 5. I'll have to go look. Just watching from the sidelines. As usual, what's up, Candace Cameron Burr versus Annabelle Pink? Glad to have you. Biden's on. Thank you, Misi, for saying that. For life. Another 3 months before ours change. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay, damn. Maybe I can go in there and add like a 4 or a 5 on my own. I'd have to go look. Jack and Jazz. Yes, it does look like y'all are the ones that are in the race, though, to get the first purple or orange or whatever the next color is. Excedrin. You rang? Some of y'all have very good YouTube names. He's saying the country will not default. Man, who would have guessed that? You know, actually, I wonder. It's probably on here. Yeah. Do you prefer puts or call options? Honestly, I don't like to have a preference because I don't like to put myself in a mindset. We hit today's open in highs. We're pushing higher now off Biden's speech. I don't like to pick a side because I like to be as non-biased as possible. I'm not saying your username. I was just about to say it. Honestly, though, I probably do get a little bit more excited though when I play puts. Just to answer your question shortly. But in my history, though, you really shouldn't aim for one or the other. In my experience, you really should plan for both sides of the story, and not think you're only good at one or the other, because it is a false sense of whatever to tell yourself that you're only good at one or the other. You're not. That's such a lie. Even if your history tells you you're only good at calls or only good at puts, it's a lie. That's you telling yourself that, and then you go and you trade it, and you just don't look at it correctly. That's totally fine. That could be one thing. Maybe you're only good at envisioning base builds for upside movements, and for some reason you just can't do that for the same thing for downside moves. So I don't know. I don't like to be like, oh, I'm only good at puts or only good at calls, because then it puts you in kind of a trapped mindset, and that's not something you should do. You're kind of trapping yourself, if anything. And if you do have results that say, oh, wow, out of my last 20 trades, 18 of them were calls, and I did good on all of them, and 2 plays I took were puts, and I lost both of those, so instantly I'm telling myself I'm bad at puts. It's like, no, you just don't have the eye for downside yet, as much as you do for upside. For some reason, you've clearly practiced upside a lot more than you have downside. Why does it look like he's already walking away? That looked like me in school, dead ass, grabbing my binder and getting the hell out of there. He's trying, bro, look. He's doing the whole, talking, walking away thing. Yeah, get out of there. Hurry before the teacher asks more questions. Hurry. No, they're asking, go, run. Oh, he's saved. They're like, sir, the meeting just started. Sir, we have you here for another hour. Well, guys, I really glad I got to show off like 2 minutes of Biden's speech. That was awesome. By the way, it happened again. Levels work to the T. I'm not one to brag, man. Probably will end the stream very soon, though. I've given you guys a really good detailed explanation on how we've gotten up to this point. We've gone over the sectors repetitively. I've gone over tech, touching supply, breaking supply, getting demand, bouncing from demand, hitting supply again. The continued weakness in financials. We had a really weird day with the banks. They were kind of up, down, up. We had the comms kind of up, down, up. And then discretionary, they were kicking ass today with Tesla pump today. Amazon also doing as best as they can to stay green, even if it's just to help Tesla continue moving higher. So really, really good push by them. You can see they just hit 174 and pulled back. But overall, really, really good day today. Now on the, whoops, wrong chart. Now on the bigger time frame, you guys can see here, let me jump out to this 6 day. You guys can see we are still trading within not just that green candle, but like I said this morning, we're inside that candle, we're inside that candle. I mean, we are literally just trading within ourselves here. What did I say? Oh, but again, trading within a range. So if you guys are getting to a point where you're getting FOMO or you're freaking out or you're just getting pissed off that you're not getting really good trading opportunities, calm down. It's going to get better soon. Calm down. But look at the bigger time frame. This is what can help you dodge shitty trades or shittier trading days. If you know we're in a trading range, then you have to assume we're not going to move in a very large way until something changes. What is that something? We have Powell on Friday. That should give us some sort of boost, and then next week we should have a continuation from that move. Whether it's a fake out and it reverses or we get a continuation in the direction it jumped in, whatever. We'll get some more movement soon. So don't freak out. Don't get pissed off. Don't get FOMO. Don't let emotions consume you. But guys, I am going to end the stream here. I'll see you guys later on. But thank you guys for tuning into my stream, enjoying the watch list, enjoying some of the breakdowns. On Twitter and YouTube, or on Twitter and in my Discord, I've been sharing charts and chart links every night. So make sure you guys are tuning into either of those to get your fair share of the chart links before the next day. Therefore, you can look at them as much as you want. You can also watch workshop number 11, which gives you a good breakdown on how I get my levels and how you should trade those levels, how you should view those levels, read them, visualize them. And then also methods you can take to learn from them, as well as the lead test playlist, something you can do that gives you an amazing probability behind a lot of your trading setups. But again, guys, drop a like on the stream. I'm going to end it here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys again for joining in here, engaging and supporting. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Tune into the Discord if you want to catch more updates, more engagement with the community. I'll see you guys later on.